Hey there everybody, welcome back to another VGC prep vid. This one's a little bit different, as you might have guessed, since there is no layout, and it's just me. I figured I'd talk a little bit about preparing for a tournament and what it kind of involves, because I know a lot of you guys might be newer to the tournament scene and going to maybe a bigger event than just a Premier Challenge or an MSS. Maybe you want to take the jump to a regional, or maybe you want to go like all out and go into an internets, which thankfully they're back in Columbus this year. Super happy about that. But what we're going to talk about today is just getting yourself ready for tournament, being at the tournament, and what you should do for your best chance of success while you're there. Now, the first thing we have to talk about is obviously your team, right? Your team is very important. You can't play without it. So that's important. First off, make sure your team is boxed and ready. And by that I mean your battle team is made and created, and you've double checked the items and the natures and the stats and the abilities and literally everything else that you could possibly think of that involves your teams, because I can't tell you the number of times I have entered in a Global Link Wi-Fi tournament thing that Pokemon has done, and I have messed up an ability, or I didn't go to the move tutor like I should have before I locked my battle box. Please double check your team just for safety's sake. Nobody wants to lose because you accidentally put a Pokemon in your battle team that wasn't supposed to be there, right? And I mean, like, maybe you have one Amoonguss that has Spore and the other one has, I don't know, Rage Powder, and you accidentally put the Spore one when you need the Rage Powder in, or they have different EV sets because they're meant to live different things. I don't know. You could have identical Pokemon that don't, and they have a few minor differences between them. You accidentally put the wrong one in, and you don't want to do that. Also, side note, please make sure you have your Mega Ring in game. Enough said. Fill out your team sheet ahead of time if you possibly can. A lot of times, if you're at the venue the day before, like on a Friday or something like that, they'll have team sheets up and available and out or something, or you could like ask a judge or someone who seems important who is over there for a team sheet. You can fill it out and bring it back the next day, and you'll have it all set. Or, if you're an overachiever, there's sometimes they are posted online. I know Jen Badamo has a link with her Twitter that probably has that available to you. So go check it out. Try and get it done ahead of time, because the less run through that you do with a team sheet, the less likely you are to make a mistake. And we all know how painful team sheet mistakes are. It's an automatic game one loss. Please don't let that happen to you. That's not good. You don't want that to happen. Additionally, what you can do if you're at a tournament or a regional or whatever, you can grab a couple extra team sheets while you're there so that you have them for the next go about. Brilliant. And if you can't, for whatever reason, have your team sheet filled out ahead of time, make sure you have all the important information you need that goes along with that team sheet fill out, which includes player ID, game cart, system type, birthday. I don't know why you wouldn't remember your birthday, but no judgment. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But make sure you have all that available to you. That way you're not scrambling last minute to try and fill it out. Because again, the more time you can accurately take with a team sheet, the better off you're going to be. Next up, we have the bag. This thing right here. It's open. Oops. Now, rule number 1 of your bag. Your bag must have swag. Your bag must have swag. Remember those words. So as you can see, I got some stuff down here. We got a little Keyblade action. We got a Hoot Hoot / Noctowl little keychain. Fantastic. And, of course, a Rowlet keychain, because owls are the best. On the back, I actually have a couple little pins here. We got some game theory stuff going on. Big fan. Big fan of game theory. What's not to love? So always make sure your bag is decked out, because you want to be cool. You do want to be cool. You always want to be cool. And you might be wondering, what should you have in your bag? Number 1. And yes, I am intentionally putting this before any game carts or systems or whatever. Hand sanitizer. Now, I actually use Baby Ganix, hashtag not spawn. It's alcohol free, so it keeps the hands healthy. That's a very important thing to remember when, you know, you're doing hand sanitizer. I can't tell you the number of people who I have seen get sick after going to an event, because it's basically like a mini convention, and germs are just everywhere. I'm not afraid of germs. No. So after you have your hand sanitizer, of course, there are some other things that you're going to want in your bag. Duh. First and foremost, this is it. Boom. A notebook. You always want a notebook so that you can take notes and be a winner. And look at this. It's a TNTBT notebook. Now, obviously, you don't have to get this notebook, but you can totally get it with a link in the description below. But you have a back page that has pockets. So you have a pocket. That's very helpful. I can't tell you how... Look, I have team sheets in there. I have team sheets in my notebook already. I'm so prepared. The other thing that you're going to want is obviously a pen or a pencil, or... I actually have a really thin stylus pen. So, and I can, you know, hit my, I can use it in the game. I can select moves, and then I can take notes. It's one flawless little swoop. It's perfect. I might be putting too much thought into this. Next up, you're gonna want your basic stuff, obviously, right? So you're gonna want stuff like a charger. And yes, the charger is ahead of the actual game system itself. It's that important. Now, I always carry with me my basic 3DS charger, and on top of that, I have a card charger as well, with multiple ports, actually. If I bring my Nintendo, my Game Boy Advance SP, I can actually charge it with that. Still the best handheld console that Nintendo has ever made, not including the Switch, because the Switch is amazing. But always have a charger. Don't be that guy who doesn't, or girl, I guess. Don't be that person who doesn't have a charger. All right, you don't want to be that person. Nobody likes that person. Now, this is a pro tip within itself. All right, and I got this tip from my dude Ports, who to this day is too modest to admit that it was his idea, but I think that's the truth. I have a power strip, so I always bring a power strip with me now, because outlets are very, very, very hot commodities. It's hot real estate. So if you can manage to get one, great. But if you can't, maybe you can ask somebody, hey, can I plug in my power strip? And then, you know, me and you and a friend and a friend, and then some guy that we just met, and then some other random person who just walked up, we can all charge our stuff together. Actually, you can't really, because it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really feel like that. But, you know, at least 3. You can at least charge 3 this way. It's also very nice to be able to, like, you know, bring your cell phone, and you can charge stuff that way, I guess. That works too. Speaking of chargers, you might want to pick up a portable charger as well. It helps keep your cell phone charged, and obviously, if you're at a regional, it's going to be at a space where there's likely going to be a lot of Pokestops. You can probably get some Pokemon Go time in between rounds. You should probably bring a portable charger so that your phone doesn't die. Because again, power outlets are very hot commodity, and you may not be able to charge your phone and your 3DS at the same time. So, portable charger might be the way that you want to go as well. And finally, we're getting to the actual important, well, not the actual important stuff, the additional important stuff. You're going to want a 3DS, or something within the Nintendo 3DS family. Right? Bag, stay up here. You're going to want something within the Nintendo 3DS family. This guy, this is what I bring. New 3DS, standard model, best 3DS/2DS model that they have. It's very, very, very slick. I love it. You're also going to want a game cart. It's fantastic. That's how you play the game, obviously. It's good to have. It's very nice to have. Additionally, you're going to want an anti-screen peeking device to go along. I like to use this Noctowl card. No. I have to show you this. Because look, if someone's looking at your game cart, they see this. Do you see that? Do you see? They see Noctowl staring at them. It's perfect, man. It's the best. Best anti-cheating device, hands down. On top of that, you're also going to want a set of headphones. And why headphones, you might be wondering? Well, I have a pair that aren't quite noise canceling. They're a lot like this, actually, but they're a little more slick. They're a little more... They have to be corded. Remember, you can't use Bluetooth or anything like that. They have to be corded, so make sure you also have a cord. But you can use these to listen to the in-game audio. Helps block out the sounds around you. And you know, I just recently started doing this, not but a couple months ago, and it has vastly improved the level of focus and concentration I can keep during the game, because it helps me tune out you know, feet tapping on the floor, people getting up and walking around, or like people next to me like talking to each other, or whatever. It really helps drown out the background noise, and it really does help improve my gameplay. You might be thinking, what else do you need? Well, what I like to bring are a couple extra game carts for when I hate myself for not being able to play Pokemon well, so I can like focus on other games, and that's a very nice thing. Additionally, you're gonna want a Switch backpack filled with all kinds of Switch games, including your Nintendo Switch, for, you guessed it, when you're bad at playing Pokemon and you hate yourself, you can just play a Nintendo Switch. This isn't really a serious one, I just really wanted to, I love this backpack so much, and I wanted to show it off. Like, look, it has compartments for literally everything you would need for your Switch. It's so amazing. I love this thing so much. I cannot wait for Pokemon on the Switch. Also gonna want a cell phone, so that you can call your mom and get encouragement for when you're really bad at playing I see, here's the bit. I was doing a bit. Basically, the gist is, don't get down on yourself when you're playing poorly. Just kind of like, you know, shake it off, man. Get up, walk around. It's fine. Pokemon is Pokemon. We all run into RNG issues. We all have bad days. Don't let that get you down. That's what this entire have extra things for when you're not playing Pokemon well, to distract you from playing Pokemon. That's it for everything that you might need to bring with you, but what should you do personal-wise? Obviously, you should definitely get a lot of sleep the night before. You don't necessarily want to be shaking off the sleepies, or the... That. You don't want to be doing that. That was a real yawn, by the way. I have no idea where that came from. You don't want to be half asleep when you're trying to play, you know, 7 to 9 rounds of best of 3s in Pokemon. Alright? That's gonna wear you down, let alone like all the other factors you have to contribute. So make sure you're at least well rested to kind of have a leg up. Additionally, you're gonna want to drink a lot of water. If you stay hydrated, helps keep you mentally sharp, helps, you know, keep you awake and vital. And drink water, stay hydrated. Don't go for the sodas, don't go for the energy drinks. That's not the play. I'm telling you, that's not the play. You gotta drink water. You gotta stay hydrated. It's gonna benefit you in the long run. Snack time is a personal topic that is very near and dear to my heart, because I, as someone who is not really all that great with the wheat foods, you're gonna want to be prepared for that. Now, not every venue can allow you to bring stuff in from outside. Like, there's always this whole no outside food or beverage thing, and I'm like, but I can't eat wheat, and they're like, have an M&M. No one's actually ever told me that, by the way. But it's true that not all venues will allow you to bring stuff in. So if you can, definitely bring water. We just talked about that. And some kind of snack bar. I usually, you know, default to a Kind bar or a Luna bar. Hashtag not spawn. Hashtag would spawn, if they would let me. In all seriousness, you definitely want to have like some kind of snack on you. And again, if you can't bring anything in, that's okay. Just make sure you have the means to be able to get something, some kind of snack. Because not every time will you be able to have a lunch break. This is a thing that was kind of more of an issue in the past. It's not so much been a thing recently, but there's always a possibility that you're not going to have time for a lunch break if you have like a massive round of play for the day. So make sure you at least have something to keep your energy up throughout the day. The next point kind of coincides with that. Be sure that you are able to go for the long haul, man. I know that like best of 3s can be really stressful, right? Sometimes you get a big player turnout, you're going to have 9 rounds of Swiss. Most of the time it's going to be like 7 or 8. But 9 rounds of Swiss can be absolutely brutal if you get the player turnout for it. And like I said, sometimes you won't be able to have a lunch break just because of the time restrictions that are in place. So what you want to be able to do is make sure you are mentally prepared to go that long round. Easy ways to break up the monotony of the constant best of 3 rounds. Walk between each round. I know that sometimes you won't have a whole lot of time, but realistically, there's like almost an hour on the timer round. I think it's 55 minutes now, if I'm remembering that right. You have time between rounds to get up, walk around, stretch your legs, get some fresh air. That's really important. Make sure that you are mentally awake, alive, if you will. And you can play Pokemon Go. Like, go outside, play Pokemon Go for like 10 minutes, and then come back in, double check, make sure you haven't missed the round, and you're good to go, relatively speaking. Getting up and walking between rounds is a great way to kind of stave off any kind of mental funk or player salt that you might be developing if the games are not really going your way or something like that. It's just a good way to kind of get up, refresh yourself before the next round. And again, some of those days can be very, very long. And finally, one of the most important things that I think doesn't really get talked about all that much. Some of the things I've talked about are obviously pretty obvious. I say obvious again. Some of the things are common sense, So one of the things that I really try and drive home is be friendly. When you sit down for your round, not everybody's going to want to be like, oh, hey, where are you from? Tell me your life story. Do you have any kids? Do you have any dogs? Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? What's your deal, friend? Tell me everything you can about yourself in 5 minutes or less. Not everybody's going to want to do that, obviously. Now, I stick to 3 basic things, really. A simple greeting, like a hello. I introduce myself and I make sure I get their name. And then a handshake. That's really all I do. And that kind of gives you the idea if the other person is interested in developing a conversation or a rapport with you. If not, you broke the ice and you were polite and friendly. It's a very simple but effective thing that you can do. What I've noticed as someone who actually still kind of gets a little anxious going to events and things like that, it helps shake off a lot of the nerves that you might have, especially if you're a first time player or you just naturally get very anxious in social settings like I do. I'm not good at parties or social environments in general with more than like 2 or 3 people. I have noticed that it does make a big difference, and I personally, if nothing else, feel a little bit more confident and comfortable being there at the table, interacting with someone. So there you have it, guys. Those are my tips on getting ready for tournaments, I guess. It's not really, it literally has nothing to do. These are just general rules for how to do well, I guess, outside of playing well. The team construction and the playing well is honestly up to the player, but hopefully you guys took some of these tips and they will be helpful to you moving forward at any and all Pokemon type game endeavors that you want to embark on. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. I wish you all the best of luck in the VGC 2018 season. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I am Blue, and I will catch you next time in an all-new video, podcast, live stream, or something somewhere that I do on the internet.